Alright, guys, you guys really need to pay attention to this. This guy, Zach Hubbard, is a genius. Please subscribe to his channel, Gematria News Effects. Please subscribe to my channel too, please. Thanks.
Listen to the haters, those are all facts. We are 11-0. And our favorite pick in the NFC to represent the Super Bowl before the season began was the Buccaneers. It's Super Bowl 55. 55 is the 10th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. 55 is also the 10th Fibonacci number, if you know the Fibonacci sequence. So 55 and 10 are peas in a pod. Brady's in his 10th Super Bowl for Super Bowl 55. Notice the score of today's game, too, right? The big story is going to be how they kicked the field goal and what a mistake that was. It's because it's all scripted, you guys. This was the 57th meeting all time between the Bucs and the Packers. 57 total points on the board, as I've educated about for over 7 years straight. 57 is a championship number, and this is the NFC Championship. It's the same ritual as last year. Last year, we knew the Packers and Niners would meet in the NFC Championship, a span of 57 days from their last meeting. They ended up scoring 57 combined points in the NFC Championship. This year, the 57th meeting all-time between these teams. 57 points. It's just straight mockery. But this is the best part, you guys. And I gave you guys some big whoppers yesterday in the 10-0 video. Again, I reminded you about how the Tampa Bay Rays beat Boston in Boston 17-8, exactly 178 days before the Super Bowl. And I talked about yesterday again, and I've been telling you guys this stuff since before the season began. I've been putting out there for free multiple times, Gematria Effect Sports and my main channel, Gematria Effect News, giving you guys the free stuff. Again, we do the daily sports stuff on the Patreon, but I still throw out some free gems for you guys. And if you guys were listening to what I said yesterday about how last weekend the Bucs looked better than the Saints because the Saints didn't have that type of riddle with the Super Bowl, neither did the Packers. But also, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Boston and Tampa Bay played. And again, the year that Brady goes from Boston to Tampa Bay. All of a sudden, Tampa sports are just so good. But that first playoff game, the only one that Boston won over Tampa Bay, and we thought they'd win that game, it was 168 days before the Super Bowl, and Boston Bruins equals 168. Again, all of the world of sports is scripted and perfectly connected. And, you know, when they go off script, that's what the officials are there for, the bogus flags, the bogus penalties, the controversial calls. Not to mention they have technology to help ensure outcomes. That's a whole other topic. But again, the other thing I've been showing you guys for years is how they sync up the NFL with the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And I want to show you just how much this is the biggest mockery I've seen yet in the 7+ years that I've been doing this. This is the biggest mockery yet with the Royal Rumble and the WrestleMania. Just watch this. 2021 Royal Rumble date and location. Okay, the Royal Rumble's on January 31st, and it's happening in Florida at Tropicana Field where the Tampa Bay Rays play. And by the way, Tampa, Florida equals 116. The Rays just lost in the 116th World Series, and Tom Brady's full name, Thomas Patrick Edward Brady Jr. equals 116. And by the way, the woman who's going to work the game, her son's name is Brady Thomas. But anyway, the Royal Rumble is where the Rays play, and it's on January 31st, 131. Now, I want to go back to what I've been teaching you guys. You know, back in the day, I didn't know all these ciphers. What I knew was simple gematria and the alphabetic order of the rules of numerology. But just notice, Super Bowl's 131. When you write out championship, it's 131. And when you write out 57 as a number, it's 131. And you guys have to understand, when I was first doing this research, this calculator didn't exist. This calculator was built by a man who saw my sports work, thought it was absolutely batshit crazy, and then he tried to prove it wrong, and he realized, oh shit, he's right. Every single championship, we're talking about the same numbers. Last year, Super Bowl 54 was the Joe Montana Bowl. Joe Montana equals 54. It was 131 days from his 64th birthday. Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. The Chiefs have now scored 64 points in Super Bowls. When you spell out 49ers, it's a word at 64. They do the same things every year. This is why you have 57 points in the NFC Championship game in the 57th all-time meeting. You know, LaFleur's not a moron. You don't get paid millions of dollars. Everybody knows that in that situation you should have went for it on fourth down. Everybody knows that. And didn't you love how it was a 26-yard field goal to put up the 26th points in the 101st NFL season where 101's the 26th prime? I always tell you guys, this stuff's scripted to the hash mark. And that's why sometimes you see the refs do bogus spots on the field. They'll take away a yard. They'll give a yard. Again, the announcers are so often saying you couldn't have scripted it any better. So first clue. WrestleMania is where the Tampa Bay Rays play January 31st, 131, right before the weekend of the Super Bowl, right? And if you look into the Royal Rumble, if I said WrestleMania, I meant to say Royal Rumble. If you look into who's in the main event, it's Roman Reigns, who represents Florida. So kind of the home field guy is going to be in the main event, right? But the Royal Rumble is just the half of it. Look at WrestleMania. They rescheduled the date of WrestleMania, and WrestleMania is a 2-day event now. It was March 28th, you guys. That's what it was, but it's now been rescheduled. And hold on, the new dates are April 10th and 11th. And first of all, look at the logo for WrestleMania 37. You see this? WrestleMania 37, right? And now it's going to start April 10th, and it'll also go into April 11th, which is the 101st day of the year,